Hello and welcome. This is OBN, Voice for the People. I'm Anurkali with the news. Prime Minister of Ethiopia, Dr. Abiy Ahmed, has held discussion with leaders of political parties to review the progress of the recruiting committee established to identify and recruit board members for the National Electoral Board of Ethiopia. Sorichak Abaricha has more.
Prime Minister Dr. Abiy Ahmed held discussions with leaders of political parties to review the progress of recruiting committee established to identify and recruit board members for the National Electoral Board of Ethiopia. The committee yesterday shortlisted 8 nominees, namely Magawi Zarihun, Degu Mengiste, Malaku Sibat Badane, Ubishat Ayela Gete, Brahane Mugus Fikr, Demoze Mame, Mistress Buzuel Katete, Dr. Getaun Kasa, and Abarra Degefunago. The Prime Minister's call for consultation with political parties was made to solicit inputs on the National Electoral Board of Ethiopia board nominees shortlisted, which will be presented to the Parliament next week, according to Office of the Prime Minister. On the discussion, Prime Minister Dr. Abiy urged that to make the next year election fair and free, the government has finalized the process to select many election observers from the country and abroad, and expressed the government keenness to have independent board members. The Premier stated that the Ethiopian government is working to establish a strong electoral board which will be exemplary as the continent. Shortlisted participants reiterated trust in the process of appreciated the engagement. The nomination process was conducted as per the criteria set by the committee, which includes that the nominee shall be an Ethiopian national, independent, competent, ethical and loyal, among others. Out of the 8 shortlisted nominees, 4 will be selected by the Parliament. Following the meeting, the Prime Minister, together with the political party leaders, planted seedlings in recognition of concerted efforts to green and clean Ethiopia.
It's amazing to see the Prime Minister talking at the Office of Prime Minister with opposition political parties, even the contesting parties that he calls, and also planting trees, the common practice these days after he started in Adama town before 2 weeks. And now the palace of the Prime Minister full of seedlings, and the whole country is going to be green if nicely nurtured. The Joint Peace and Development Forum of Oromia and Benishangul Gumuz regional states has been opened on Saturday here in Adama town. Adisa Safa tells us more.
Joint Coordination Office of Peace and Development of Oromia and Benishangul Gumuz regions have been having discussion in Adama town. On the discussions, a 9-month job accomplishment report has been presented, and they also scheduled what to do in the upcoming 2020. Among us, the 9-month report is returning those displaced Oromos from Benishangul Gumuz back to their original destination has been considered as a wonderful accomplishment of the session. Some participants of the discussion have said it's better to be proactive than being reactive. In that regard, internal displacement, political instability, and racism could be solved.
Oromia and Benishangul Gumuz are just different sides of the same coin. These two people are families. We ought to outcast those evildoers who let the people fight on silly matters. The government should work to strengthen their unity and fraternity.
With regard to attaining sustainable peace and development, we have to quest ourselves. And we need to know things that are expected from us. The people should know what's good and bad. And the government is also expected to discuss on issues that are very helpful for the public. Thus, the Oromia Regional State and Benishangul Gumuz regions have started a good relation, and this trend should also be important for the rest of the regions.
On the discussion, scholar of political science and foreign relationships from Walaga University, Galata Gamachu, presented a research study about the two people.
Generally, my study deals with the relationship that those two people have for a long time. Even before the formation of Ethiopia, the Oromo people used to have a relation with the Neolithic people long ago. These two people have been having a strong relation, especially through trade.
Commander Worko, Deputy Chairman of Joint Coordination of Peace and Development Office of Oromia and Benishangul, said those incidents that they have experienced recently were coined by those who strive for their own gain. The displacement and unrest have nothing to do with the entire people.
Neighboring communities or regions should work together for the common goal, such as development and peace. We are working to bring the two people together for their mutual benefit. We treat the two people equally. Neither of them is underprivileged.
Coordinator of the Oromia Rural Development Cluster with the rank of Vice President of the region, Dr. Girma Amante, said the Oromia regional state is working with neighboring states on development and peace-related matters.
When we
see the resources that are found in West Oromia, Benishangul Gumuz and Gambela, it is really abundant. It is excess, not even for themselves. It can feed the entire Oromia, but how to utilize it matters. Generally, these two people who share common border haven't got problems of land, resources and territory. What they have is problem of utilizing natural resources, and we are working on that.
Environmental protection through fighting climate change said is crucial to realize sustainable development. The World Environment Day has been marked in Adama town at national level. Aklu Gabru has more.
The World Environment Day was marked for 26th time at national level here in Adama town. Senior government officials of the federal government in the regions and environmental protection advocates were in attendance of the event. Research findings on the stage revealed that tremendous works have been done in terms of environmental protection, personal and environmental hygiene over the past years. Coordinator of Rural Development Cluster with the rank of Vice President of the Oromia Regional State, Dr. Girma Amante, said environmental protection is vital to sustain the ever-started green economy.
We have to give equal emphasis to environmental protection, just like socio-economic development, to register sustainable developmental endeavors.
Dr. Girma spoke completion of preparation to plant a plenty of tree seedlings in the upcoming Ethiopian rainy season.
Among the 4 billion tree seedlings planned to be planted, we have completed all the necessary preparation to plant 2 billion of it. So we request active public participation for the successful accomplishment of the mission.
Commissioner of the Federal Forest, Environment and Climate Change Commission, Professor Figadu Bayana, on the event pointed out that works are underway to wisely avoid waste products from factories.
We celebrate the day by protecting our atmosphere, weather and soil from pollution. To do so, concerted effort of all citizens is mandatory.
Certificate and recognition was given for individuals and companies played pivotal role in environmental protection. Oromia Regional State was also awarded for its immense contribution.
Once upon a time, Ethiopia was covered for about 40% of its area with forest, and now a little bit better than 3%. And unless it is being worked that way, things will be tough. But only Yayo and Haranna areas of Bale and Ilubabur zones are forested with natural forest today, and things are actually in pipeline to make that. The Oromia Investment Commission says investment projects in Oromia should motivate economic activities in the region. A relevant discussion has been held in Galan town. Fukad Burhanu at the story.
More than 10,000 industries have been operating in the Oromia regional state, according to the data gained from the Oromia Investment Commission. Accordingly, more than 350 different industries have been operating on more than 450 hectares of land with capital of 22 billion birr in Galan town administration. However, the town couldn't develop, though it is the center of industry. Galan town administration has discussed with business owners of the town on ways of solving infrastructure problems and creating job opportunities opportunities for jobless. Commissioner of the Oromia Investment Commission, Rashid Mohappa, on the event said his commission is working with other stakeholders to create job opportunities through attracting new projects to the region.
Currently, we have many job seekers in the region. We can solve this problem if we could expand investment across the region. We are working with due attention in this regard. Accordingly, we are discussing with business owners to create job opportunity for jobless per their agreement.
Mayor of Galan Town, Ahmad Idris, for his part, noted that there is good investment movement in the town to accelerate development of the town.
Investmentiiwwan magaalaa keessatti gaggeessaa jiran warri jalqaban akka gaariitti oomisha isaaniitti fufan.
We have prepared this form to motivate investors who have started their work and encourage those who need to start the work, because investors have a lion's share in development of a town.
Investors who have participated on the forum for their part underscored that they have been working with due emphasis to create job opportunity for jobless and accelerating development of the town.
We are ready to play our level best with what we have, because there should be mutual understanding between investors and government to benefit each other.
On the event, model investors have been awarded a recognition certificate.
UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, together with UNICEF, Vital Events Registration Agency and the Agency for Refugees and Returnees Affairs, launched a center where refugees in Bambasi Camp, Benishangul Gumuz, can access services such as the registration of birth, marriages, divorces and death, and receive protection referrals and civil documentation. Olkawandumu has more.
UNHCR, the UN Refugee Agency, together with UNICEF, Vital Events Registration Agency and the Agency for Refugees and Returnees Affairs, launched a center where refugees in Bambasi Camp, Benishangul Gumuz, can access services such as registration of births, marriage, divorces and deaths, and receive protection, referrals and civil documentation. These services will also be available to people from all the local communities surrounding the camp, according to a statement issued by UNHCR. The launch of UNHCR Center, also known as a one-stop shop, marks the beginning of a progress that will lead to a government-only digitalized and harmonized model for refugee assistance that will also serve local communities. The initiative is in line with the Global Compact on Refugees, which promotes the provision of common services and infrastructure for both refugees and the local communities. Financed by European Union Asylum, Migration and Integration Fund, AMIF, which is administered by the Kingdom of the Netherlands, the one-stop shop is the first of 27 such facilities to be established throughout Ethiopia to support the integration of services for refugees with national system, as enshrined in Ethiopia's revised new refugee law that was adopted in January of this year. Amdorke Hollandork, head of the Agency for Refugees and Returnees Affairs of Zonal Office in Asusa, said by providing services to refugees and their host communities in one center, the one-stop shop represents a good start in the ongoing drive to integrate services used by refugees and their hosts, leading to eventual inclusion of refugees into the host communities in line with the new refugee law. The one-stop shop and the services provided in it will facilitate the government's out-of-camp policy, which foresees a significant number of refugees living and working outside of refugee camps, says Clementine Niketa Salami, the UNHCR representative.